So you've got yourself an aquarium and you want a filter for it, whether you're upgrading the old filter or you just need a new filter because it's a new aquarium. In this video, I will be doing a review on the Hydra internal filters by Oceanfree. So stay tuned to see how they get on.
It's all about shrimps, simply shrimps.
Good day everybody and welcome to this video. Now this is the complete range of the Hydra internal filters and they're exclusive to Maidenhead Aquatics. And although this video isn't actually sponsored, Maidenhead Aquatics did actually send me these filters to do a review on. So what I want to do is give you my honest review. Well, that rhymed. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. Anyway, yeah, so what I want to do is give you my honest review on these filters. So I'm going to put them to the test and like break them down and things like that, so see how they work inside and out. But first, because there's actually 5 different sizes, let's find out which is best suited for me to use on my big tank behind me, which is the tank I'm going to be testing it on, or which one is actually going to be best suited for you. Let's put them on display and give you a quick lowdown of each filter. So first off, we have the Hydra Nano Plus. And this is a great little filter for nano tanks, as it kind of says in the name. And it's rated for aquariums of 50 litres or less. The flow rate is 300 litres per hour and it takes 5 watts of electricity. Also, you only need one cata-pure cartridge inside it. What I love about this filter is the fact that it actually has a surface skimmer on it, which is brilliant for getting rid of that extra protein surface scum that appears on top of your tanks. Not only this, it also has a kind of elephant trunk periscope outlet if you didn't want the surface skimmer on, and you can tip it on its side so it takes up less room. You can get it in shallower water, for instance in a small turtle tank or something. A great little filter. The next size up is the Hydra 20, and this is rated for aquariums between 50 and 100 litres. The flow rate is 400 litres per hour and the electricity usage is 6 watts. This also takes one cata-pure cartridge. It's probably worth noting that inside all the internal filters, minus the Nano Plus which you previously saw, there is an extra compartment for putting, say, chemical filtration in there if you wanted to put some carbon, or to be honest, even if you wanted to put a little bit of ceramic media in there. It's a great little place to put whatever you want to kind of customize it yourself. On to the next filter. Now this is the Hydra 30. It's rated for aquariums between 100 to 200 litres. The flow rate is 600 litres per hour. The electricity usage is 7.5 watts. And once again, this uses one cata-pure cartridge. They also all have the adjustable nozzle on front, so you can adjust the flow of where the water is going. And as well as that, they've got the adjuster of the flow, so you can turn the flow down a bit if it's too strong for you. After that, we've got the Hydra 40. Now this is rated for aquariums 200 to 500 litres, so we're getting a bit bigger now. And the flow rate is 800 litres per hour. The electricity usage is 10 watts, and we're upping the game a bit. This takes 2 cata-pure cartridges. Now we're on to the final one, the Hydra 50, and this is the biggest internal filter that they do. And this is rated for aquariums 500 to 800 litres. The flow rate is 1000 litres per hour and the electricity usage is 15 watts. This also uses 2 cata-pure cartridges. One thing I'll also finally add is that all the internal filters from the 20, 30, 40 and 50, they all have a Venturi system which allows you to add that extra oxygen, actual bubbles or air bubbles into the water if you need it. Say you've got a fish that needs that higher oxygen level, or they're looking slightly lethargic, then you want to add more oxygen into the water. And this is fairly simple to add onto it. You just put the airline tubing on the top and make sure it's poking out the water. Now what makes these filters a step above other filters out there on the market is their HydroPure technology. Now I'm no rocket scientist, quantum physicist or biochemist, so the technology, if you want to know the full ins and outs of it, I'll put a card up here to a link to the video from the manufacturers telling you all about how it actually works in detail. I'll also put a link in the description to this video. However, in a nutshell, there's basically two titanium electrode plates which pass a small current through the cata-pure media, and in turn that breaks down proteins, detoxifies ammonia and nitrites. This constant detoxification process produces biologically clean and pristine water for your fishes, thus reducing the amount of water changes you need to do, though still keep an eye on your water parameters by measuring them regularly. This process represents a new generation of filters that use electrolysis as a catalyst rather than the traditional chemical treatment and bacteria to remove aquarium waste. The filter I'm going to be adding to my 500 litre aquarium is the Hydra 50. Right, so let's get this ready to put in my tank. So this is straight out of the box. Let's take the bottom cartridge off like so. There we go. And we've got some cata-pure media just to slot up inside there. So that simply goes in like so. Clicks in place because there's a little sort of thing it clicks into. And then we'll put the bottom back on. Now effectively that is ready to put in. So we've now got the Hydra 50 installed in my aquarium behind me, and before I actually turn it on, what I'm going to do is do some water tests on the water in this aquarium. Now I'm not going to bore you with me actually doing them, I'll just show you the end results, so then we can compare them in a week or two's time of having this filter running. So with the tests, I did a JBL Pro Scan dipstick test, and I did actually do a review on these, so I'll put a card up here, click up here if you want to check them out. And as you can see, everything is pretty much okay. However, it doesn't actually test for ammonia, so I'm going to do a liquid test for that. Boom! And as you can see, if you can tell on camera, ammonia is, get the right light there, 0, so that's brilliant. Let's turn the filter on and let it run for a week or two, and I'll get back to you in a week or two. Welcome back, and it's been just over 2 weeks since I put in the Hydra 50 into my 500 litre aquarium to give it a try out. So I've just done some water tests on the tank, and they'll pop up here. Bing! And comparing them to the measurements I got before starting this trial, they're pretty much exactly the same. The nitrite, the nitrate, the pH, it's all the same. The KH has risen a little bit, but not too much. And let's not forget the ammonia, which I've got down here. Boom, bing. So here we go. And let's get the lighting right again. Ammonia is still 0, so that is brilliant. Pretty much nothing has changed on the tank parameters, which, considering this is an already established tank, is good because it means the new filter has not messed up any of the water chemistry for a negative effect anyway. Now it's probably worth noting that I've done 3 water changes in the time that this filter has been in the aquarium, so I've not once taken it out and cleaned the sponge out. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing now, seeing sort of what state it's in and how the cartridge is inside. So now the filter's out of the aquarium, let's take it apart and have a look at what state it is inside after just over 2 weeks of no maintenance on it. So let's have a look at the cata-pure media. Might just dry it off a bit, my hands are a bit wet and slippy. There we go. So to be honest, that's still pretty clean. It could do with a rinse out, but I wouldn't say it's blocked up. And if we're looking at, let me get that right angle for you, the plates inside, there you go, you can just about see there. They're not too bad either. A little bit of algae build up on them, but a bit of maintenance, give them a scrub down and a clean, and hey presto, you're good to go again. Now onto the sponge, and I'm expecting this to be a fairly bit dirty, if that's even an expression. And yeah, already I can see there is some, well, quite a bit of muck on there, but nothing, just a quick rinse out isn't gonna fix. Now if you're gonna do maintenance on this filter, I would probably recommend doing it every 2 weeks just to stop the cartridge and the sponge and that from clogging up. It's better to be safe than sorry, and considering how easy it is just to slot back in on the suckers that are still in the tank and take it off and so on and so forth, then for an internal filter every 2 weeks, it's not the end of the world. It's fairly simple and easy to do. So that pretty much brings my trial to an end, and let me just summarize my review of the Hydra internal filters. Now, since my tank was already an established tank, then I didn't really notice too much of an improvement to the water chemistry because it was pretty good anyway. However, these filters would be more ideal if you're setting up a new tank because they do help overcome the new tank syndrome, as they target the ammonia and nitrite, which are the main two spikes you get when setting up a new tank. Though as you saw from the test results, there's no ammonia and nitrite in this tank anyway. So what I would actually use this filter for on this tank is a good backup in case, say, a fish passed away and I didn't notice it for a day and there was a little bit of an ammonia spike, or I overfed a little bit too much one day and didn't scoop the food out, and it's just going to help get on top of that. Now, don't get me wrong, if you have an ammonia problem, like you constantly have a high spike of ammonia or nitrite, you need to get on top of that, find out what is causing that issue, whether you're washing your sponges out under tap water frequently so you're killing all the beneficial bacteria or something like that. This is kind of like a safety net, a backup. Now, another kind of subtle thing that I noticed with having this filter on this aquarium was the smell of the tank. Now, it didn't really smell overly bad, but there was a fish tank smell to the water, as you probably know what that smell is, kind of thing. But it did actually reduce with having this filter on, and so it was a bit more of a pleasant smell, not like, ugh, fish tanks. And I can't really quote too much for using these filters on marine tanks, as I don't have a marine tank. However, I did hear a story of someone saying that they used it in their sump underneath, and whenever they opened their cabinet up, again, it reduced the odour of the marine-y sort of dirty water smell. One more thing I am going to add is if you do have any bogwood or any botanicals in your aquarium and they're leaching tannins and you want to get rid of that colour, unless you want a black water aquarium, then these filters are great at removing the tannins from the water. And I suppose the final question would be, would I continue using this filter on my aquarium? And truth be told, yes, I would. However, I'm not going to, because I've already got two large external canister filters underneath and there's just real no need for it on my setup. However, if I didn't have those canister filters underneath and I was limited, or you were limited for space underneath, then by far, yeah, why not? It's a decent filter. I'd probably stock a little bit differently so I wouldn't have as big messy fish as I do in there, like, what was it? An Awaru in the back corner there, we've got a Severum in the other corner, we've got electric blue Jack Dempsey, we've got black ghost knifefish and Alan my crayfish. Woo, Alan! So yeah, if I was going to be using this long term in my aquarium behind me, I would stock maybe a few smaller fish just to allow for not as much waste being produced so the filter can get on top of it a lot easier, if that makes sense. So that's pretty much the end of this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it informative and it's helped you make a decision on whether these filters are for you or not. Do you guys already have one of these filters, or are you thinking about it? Let me know in the comments section below. So if you did like this video, then don't forget to whack that thumbs up. If you're new to this channel and you enjoyed this content, I've got a fair few more reviews to do, shrimpy things, then hit that subscribe button down below. That side I'm not too sure, I should know by now. And thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you in another video. See you later. It's all about shrimps, simply shrimps. Let's keep things shrimple with simply shrimps. Do 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 do. Yeah!